Hi Libra, welcome to your connection reading where we take a look at your connection with somebody new, somebody from the past that you still feel like you have a hold on or has a hold on you, or your current person that you're with. Other than that, everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, including the link to the Recommend a Reader Shoutout, which goes to Channeled Guidance Tarot. Much love and support to her. Hopefully you get a chance to check her out, show her some love and support if you like what she has to say. This is a connection reading from 10th through September 9th. And this is intended for a romantic love reading and may resonate in other areas of your life, such as work or job, career, money, friends, and family. All right, Libra. What's your connection like? What is going on with your connection, Libra? Ace of Swords. You got the Chariot. King of Cups. Could be Pisces. This could be Cancerian. And we've got Seven of Pentacles. Fool. Queen of Pentacles. And the of Cups. Okay. All right. What's this King of Cups about? So this could be Pisces, Cancerian, and Capricorn. Could be Aries or Virgo here. This King of Cups. King of Cups about. So are you two... Is it like you're both wanting things to work out, but you're both kind of guarded and like, and it feels like they want things... Their goal is for stability with or without you. That remains to be seen. But right now, their goal is definitely stability. What's this King of Cups? King of Cups. The Tower. Okay. Could be Scorpio. What's this Chariot about? Hermit. This Seven of Pentacles about. Pentacles. Yeah, you two are in a holding period. Perhaps there's been a break, not a breakup, or you've just had a fight, or some kind of war of words, intense argument, or even not that, just a very non-emotional talk about, hey, I think we need to take some time and think about the truth of things, come to some realizations and figure out what we want. We've got the Hermit here and the Ace of Swords. This is all about, yeah, we want things to work out, but we need to go to separate corners. We need to think about things. We need to get some perspective. We need to come to our own truths. What else for the Seven of Pentacles? So we've got Three of Wands there and the Ten of Cups. Okay, what's this Queen of Pentacles about? Six of Swords. So we got the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. All right, so what's this Fool about? Five of Pentacles. Ten of Cups about. Two of Cups. Okay. It kind of feels like they want it more than you do, Libra. Because it feels like they're waiting for you to decide, and you're kind of mad. You're just like, you know what? I need space. I need time to think about things. I got a lot going on. I'm upset. A lot going on in my head. And I think this person is really hoping that things can calm down, that this will give the time needed while you're in separation, but that it's going to be a returning to the fold so that you two can, after having spent some time thinking, like this Hermit here, you two can get and, work things out and move forward. And it might be a very intense dynamic relationship. We've got the white and the black here, opposites, but that does provide for some passion, if I just might throw that out there. Either they're wanting things to normalize and stabilize, and they're wanting security. They're wanting to move past this. They're hoping the emotions, the volatility of the emotions die down with you, and that you two can move past this. They're waiting. They're hoping that you don't have any regrets. They're waiting. They think that this is worth it. They just want things to die down so you two can talk rationally and talk about what to do for the future. However, they want things to normalize, period. So if they don't, they're fully willing to separate and disconnect and start anew. Because in their mind, Libra, it kind of feels like if you can't talk about what happened, or if you can't have the emotional, the conversation, rational conversation, but be like, okay, so I understand what happened. I understand who you felt. You understand that going forward, let's do this. If that can't take place, then they don't want any part of this, because they see themselves as, you know what, I'm a good partner and I contribute and I take care of people and things and my own. And that's what I do. I manage things, I help, I nurture. So if I can't do that with this person, I need to go find somebody else that is going to be a good for me, because I've got a lot to give and I like being in relationship. But if I'm going to be with somebody that's volatile that I can't provide that stability with, you know, we've got a disconnect because of the volatility. They're like, maybe I should be with somebody else, because I don't want to be with somebody else. I want Libra, but I need for things to not be emotional. I need for us to be able to have clear, emotionless conversations where there's no blame, there's no volatility, there's no yelling. I need to be able to talk without emotion, but with logic and a sense of understanding and compassion, but not emotion. And so this person, I don't think they want it to end. And I think they're really hoping that this is a strong connection. It's just a dynamic connection, and there's going to be kind of ups and downs, but they really want time to be taken to be like, okay, is this what we want? Because if it is, I propose that when things get heated or weird, you know, we go to our separate corners first, instead of having a blowout fight up front and then go to our separate corners. Let's go to our separate corners first, think about things, and come back and talk about it rationally so we can resolve things. That's what your person wants. They don't want to be disconnected, but they will do it because they don't want the volatility. They don't want things to be so emotional or erupt in that way. It could be that they're very much overlooking what has happened to make you that way, to make you just have all these emotions and feelings and being like, I need some space, and, you know, and they're like, well, you're being emotional. Well, you probably have good reason, you know. Let's not get too judgy here. I do. The thing is, though, they don't like feeling disconnected from you. They don't like this in-between space. So if you two are on a break or nothing's definitive, they need to know either way. Because we got moving on and moving on, moving forward, moving on, that sort of thing. So they want to move past this, but this not talking to them, this withholding because you're mad, the silent treatment, whatever, they can't abide that. It's very hard. So if there's going to be a disconnect, they want the whole disconnect or nothing at all. They don't like this gray area, this in-betweeny stage. So they're kind of in a position where they feel like they're being tortured because there's no talking, things have been cut off, or that you're withholding from them. That really bothers them. They would like black or white. Either we're going to work this out, we're taking the time needed, but we're going to work this out and move forward, or we're going to just completely disengage and disconnect. But none of this silent treatment and being cold to me while we're still having to do everything together and be together. It's like either we're going to figure this out and learn from it and grow from it, or we can't. I don't like the payback. And Libra, can I just say, I mean, look at this cups here and the Two of Cups. After all of this right here, and then we have this show up, this seems like, especially with the Queen of Pentacles right here, this seems like it's something worth working out and having those clear-cut conversations after you take some time and to figure out what you need and to kind of be able to approach things from a non-emotional perspective and talk about things clearly. This is somebody that could very well be worth investing in, just because there's a lot of potential for this person to be a very good partner. And if you two are at the crossroads, give it some more time until you both can speak logically, coming from a place where you move past your emotions and you're like, here's what I want, here's what I believe, here's what I need, all of that. Because we've got the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups here. After all this business where we have some kind of fight or some kind of intensity, volatile emotions, and this sort of disquiet, or you two are going to your separate corners, that sort of thing, and you're in crisis, we've got the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups showing up. So there's potential for a solid connection and a solid reconciliation, but it involves speaking logically and without volatile emotions or anger or ferociousness. That doesn't happen very often. Usually it's very black or white. This is gray area here. This is saying, look at this. There's this potential for a new start and moving forward. We got the Ten of Cups here. We got the Ten of Cups twice here. But it's in crisis right now. and things need to get back on track, but there has to be logic and intuition, not emotions and anger and pride in discussing things. So this is a my words want to say this. This is a solid connection. This is somebody that the potential is there with this person, and they're hoping that you come around, but stability is their main goal. So if they're not going to find it with you, they're going to find it with somebody else, because they feel like they're a pretty darn good partner, and they don't want to, but if they have to move on and disconnect from this, they will. They don't like either we're going to resolve this and figure it out and move on as a team or a partnership, or we're not. But we can't do this anger thing and this withholding thing and this fighting, judgy, petty, snarky thing. What else for Libra? Ten of Wands. That can be harvest or punishment. So, this is someone reaping the rewards because they worked very hard, but it's also pretty burdensome. So you two could be at the crossroads, because this is a very burdensome, or no, I shouldn't say burdensome. You both, this is a connection you're working at, and why we've got, like I said, there could be a very dynamic connection here. Two opposites that attract, but it takes work to keep them together. This is them hoping the connection with you is worth it. They want it. They want the connection with you, and they're waiting for you to decide. This has the potential to be a solid connection. But if you two can't have a meeting of the minds emotionally, or figure out a game plan for when I get mad, because I get a lot, I relate to things emotionally first, whereas you don't. So when that happens, I need to be able to tap out, and you have to give me space. Otherwise, I will explode like this, and we're going to have a fight and cut things off, and you're going to get your feelings hurt. And so it's going to take conversations like that. Like, you're this way, I'm this way. This is what I need. This is what I can provide, that sort of thing. Because we got two different personalities here. Oopsie, wrong deck. Whoopsie. Okay. Labor. Okay. All right. Another one saying, this relationship. And this right here is about considering if it's worth it or not. And yet your person still thinks it's worth it. They know the amount of work is going to go in, but they can't do that if they're going to be not respected. If it's going to be about someone being able to say unkind things or erupt emotionally and be unreasonable emotionally, whatever. Have the emotions. Everybody has that. I think where they're coming from is they're wanting like a safe zone. Like, okay, when you get like that, I need you to, not spew at me. I need you to go, dig a hole or something or whatever. But it's about understanding how each of you are, and then what each of you need, and what your languages are for service, love, all that. And it's funny because this is a lot of work, but this person feels like it's worth it. Oh. What else for Libra? What else for Libra? What else for Libra? What is... There we go. Okay, all right. Okay, so we've got the Hanged Man reverse. So that's Pisces. And we've got the Knight of Swords. So this is about someone acting irrationally, not willing to make the sacrifice, not willing to transition, someone that would rather kind of be a martyr, or that can be kind of manipulative and, dare I say, passive-aggressive, that instead of taking time to reflect and think, they give the silent treatment. They withhold in the name of wanting to reflect and think. You know what I mean? So it could be that someone is being a bit petty and acting kind of ruthlessly and irrationally when they get their feelings hurt or when they get upset, and that's what's taking its toll on the relationship, because Libra, this person might feel like you are acting that way, and that there needs to be some sort of compromise or meeting in the middle if you two are going to grow and move past this. The connection is there, the desire for your person to be with you is there, but they feel like there's a lot of unexpected volatility emotional-wise. There could be some harsh cutting words, or just that there's not the most stable, which is what they really crave. We got Seven of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles here. They crave stability and consistency, and they really want that to feature prominently going forward if you two are going to work this out. And they feel like they want you to meet them halfway on that. They don't want to deal with the volatility. It's not that they don't want to deal with it. It has its place, but that's something that's starting to take its toll on the relationship. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we know you're a hothead. When that happens, that's when you go to the garage for a half an hour, and then I come out and get you after such a, you know what I mean? Like there has to be a plan in place. And I think that's what they're asking, which is, actually kind of smart. Because it's like, okay, I'm not asking you to fix or change who you are. I'm asking you to manage it. There's a difference. That's realistic. That's reasonable. All right. But at the end of the day, they want this connection. Ten of Cups twice, even the Two of Cups here. They don't want to disconnect, but if it continues the way it was, it's gotten to be where it's taken its toll on the relationship, and they understand that you two are different, but there has to be a meeting ground, there has to be compromise, and there has to be a game plan for when stuff goes sideways. That, all right, this is our plan of action when it gets weird, because it builds security and trust for them. They know they can count on you to be as good as your word. Be erratic all you want, but when it hits the fan, I need to know that you're going to be responsible about your volatility. All right. Okay, Libra, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you and your person work it out. They definitely want the connection. They just want to get a game plan. Okay, I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care.